Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Leon Karina.
and this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we're talking with Phyllis Douglas. And if you haven't yet met Phyllis, you are in for quite the treat. I think the first time we had her on, we didn't even know what we were going to go down and expect. And she just blew our worlds open in such a grandiose way from her sound, her voice, from the light language coming through from the conversation. It was beyond.
Yeah, it
And
was
it's
really,
just a joy to have her back. Phyllis, welcome.
yes, a couple words about Phyllis well, before we get started.
Right.
Phyllis Douglas is known as the voice of the angel of God, is a transcendent bridge between worlds, embodying the seraphic presence as a radiant emanation of the eternal omnipresence. As the architect of living light, she masterfully works through sound, frequency, and sacred geometry to reveal and align the divine architecture of the soul. Through her alchemical light language and transformational transmissions, Phyllis empowers you to embody your highest essence and live as the expression of living light. Phyllis,
Mhm.
welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy to be here again.
Thank you. One of the things that we had as the title for this was from noise to clarity, or what was at the
It's
top of the
actually from noise
noise
to
to
knowing. So
knowing?
pretty
Oh,
close.
that's even
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
And I mean, noise for me has always been something in my life where I literally taught a program called Clearing the Noise because I had so much noise that my angels couldn't get in a word edgewise. So when I read the title, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one because I just also went through this whole nervous system upheaval and had that noise once again, and so much noise that I couldn't even meditate. It's like you had to go into listen to meditation. I'm thinking, oh, what do we need to do tomorrow? Da, 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 da. So I'd love to start there. Can you hear us okay?
I can.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
I'm trying to figure something. It's so funny. I had a whole computer thing.
Mm,
And, Elohim, I was like, well, what are we going to talk about? Noise to knowing what all that was. But
mm.
I'm just in here raw, just speaking because I have nothing
Yeah.
about any of that conversation I had with Elohim, which is the way it goes.
Ah,
And
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yes, we know.
yes. They're
Line.
very channeled. Hmm.
that's actually fine. Um, But what I realized was that I had accumulated, many times throughout my life. But it's like in hindsight, and I'm looking back and going, oh, that's why I that that didn't work out. Or
Mm,
um, one of the things was I have at times accumulated so much external noise about who I should be, what I should be doing, how I should be doing it,
mm,
where I should be going, where I should be taking my life, and and also noise can be about that noise in your head about living up to someone else's
Hmm.
expectations or living up to what's occurred, living in alignment with what has occurred in the past, even if it's out of alignment. It's like, but I have this degree, I've done all these things, I'm supposed to be doing this, right?
mhm.
But your spirit's taking off here, and you're like, no, I'm not supposed to be doing that. I've had like a lot of that, and I was a good student in college, but I kind of went my own way versus you're not going to make money doing that, and I kept switching. And so I ended up with a degree in fine arts and education first and then fine arts. Worked for me, but but you
Mhm.
still have those naysayers like that. I don't know what she's gonna do in her life,
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, the amount of we've got all these like artists and musicians in my family, and every time they go to college to become a drummer or a violinist, it's just like, no, you can't. What are you going to do with that? It's
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah, you keep
Why?
hearing that. Yeah.
Why do we even put those on
Well, and
younger 20 years old? Don't follow your passion.
I know that I had
exactly.
that.
Learn finance.
I was the lead singer of a band, and I really loved, it was Tejano band, and I loved music. Like I thought that was going to be the thing that I did. I did that for all through high school. But when I got to college, my family was like, "You've got to go to college. Don't put your eggs in all in one
Yep.
basket. Maybe you get your degree first." And I never went back and picked up music again. And I always kind of felt like I missed out on that opportunity and then I immediately went into my career. And we just talked about how we followed the line path and still felt so disconnected from what we thought we should be doing because we had been following what everyone else's, what they thought that we should be doing, right? Their expectations, or I know I did.
Yeah.
And how that can lead you so disarray, like just
Yeah.
unfulfilled in your heart.
Right.
Well, the heart knows, and the heart knows why you are here and
Yeah.
what it is that you're supposed to be doing and
Mhm.
how you're supposed to be doing it. So your intuition, your higher oversoul or I am presence is always guiding you in some way, shape, or form. But especially when we're younger and we're just listening to all the external noise about from our parents and from our clergy and from our teachers, we just kind of bypass all of that. And I was at one point, I was a violin and voice major,
Mm.
and I adored that. And I just because of the external chatter, I just switched my major. But I miss to this day playing the violin, and I keep wanting to go
Mm.
back to playing the violin. But today we have the external noises like the news
Yes.
Yeah.
that if you watch the news, I try not to, but sometimes I'm guided to kind of keep track of
Me
Yeah.
too.
a little bit of what's going on. You have like doom scrolling on social
Yes.
media. You can
I
so
do
get
that.
trapped into social media. And, sometimes when I don't want to think of something or think about something or I'm overwhelmed, I don't know. It's embarrassing to say how many times I pick up my phone and look at stupid stuff I'm not even really interested in that I
Yeah.
don't really want to engage in. But
Yeah.
I'll just be like, whatever, looking through this stuff. And it
Mhm.
takes you, it's almost like a form of enslavement
Mm.
and the attention that it takes because
Hmm.
it takes you out and away from your focus in that moment. And before you know it, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour could have passed while you're just vegetating in front of a YouTube video or something.
Hmm.
And it's kind of scary. And the tings on your phone are distracting with all the notifications, all of the emails, a lot of it. The majority of the emails you receive are from, if you were interested in something online, all of a sudden you give your email address away, and then you get all these emails. I think I get hundreds
Yeah.
of things each day that I'm always trying to make my way through. But it's just really, in order to really listen to ourselves, we need to be working inside. It's like
Hmm.
into the internal space versus focusing on the external space. And
Mm.
it's just really, there's so many distractions, and it feels to me like many of the distractions are purposeful as well. And it's just kind of taking us away from being able to pinpoint our attention on furthering our path
Yeah.
and evolving and coming to that space where we are able to really express our personal truth into the world in the way that we desire and to utilize our gifts. And it's got, even since COVID, it started in COVID where there was just more.
Yeah.
Just
It
more
was a lot. Yes.
distractions, more advertisements about, you know, um, supplements, illness,
Hmm.
mental health, and all of that. And I think a lot of that is using verbiage that is really pulling people. And
Mhm.
it's just diminishing people's power.
Mm.
Yeah. And
And you
that's why
began to
they're
think,
here listening to us so they can reclaim that knowing, that power that is really innate, that they have forgotten by all the distractions and the noise of the
I think
external.
one thing I feel really called to share is when so my son goes to a Catholic school, and we always talk about like how it's maybe not the end all be all. And so I wanted to really stress upon like, okay, you don't have to worry about like really feeling like you're a true sinner. And so we kind of talked about what it means to sin. And he goes, well, Leon, he goes, well, Mom, he goes, well, sin means to be without, like sine and cosine, right? Like sin, sin, right? To be without. And he goes, and I said, okay. He goes, well, in that way, he goes, I said, okay, well, let's look at that. And I said, if you are playing games, right? So because he likes to game, he goes, and I used to drink a lot. And I was like, if Mom was drinking a lot, then I'm without my purpose and my plan. That's a distraction. If it's, oh, it's like it's okay to have a couple drinks, right? But if I was being excessive about it, if it was taking me off purpose and plan and I'm sin without, I said, that is probably where we get that from. It is to be without your purpose. It is to be without your plan. And I said, same thing for your gaming. If gaming is taking away from you, because he's doing a nonprofit, and I was like, if it's taking away from your time to work on the nonprofit or your studies or something like that, and your purpose, then you are, and it feels addictive, you are with sin because you are without your purpose and your plan. It's distract your energies, like Dana is saying on the chat. And so then we might have that be doom scrolling, could be another,
Sin.
way in which we, it's such a big word to say sin,
Yeah.
but to be without to be without
That
the reasoning
focus. I
for
mean, if
being here
like
on earth.
focus alone has to be there for you to go forth to
And
purpose.
think about when you are on purpose and plan, how much joy it really brings you.
Mhm.
As opposed to kind of
Yeah,
doom scrolling and just doing something just to you didn't even really want to interact with, right? And we don't even notice that it's happening so fast.
Wow.
But when you're in flow,
Gosh.
you're really in that joy that God intended for you.
Mhm.
Elohim, the true energies of what your purpose is here and your flow here. So I just thought it was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
interesting that you had started with that
That.
because that was really coming up for me.
Yeah, and when we are aligned with our purpose, there's such a greater flow and ease to what it is that we're doing and how quickly
Mm.
we move forward as well. So, one of the key things is like for me, I can tell when I'm out of flow. All right, it's like, all right, you gotta stop. I
Yeah.
can tell when I'm getting distracted and what is distracting me. But also, within the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of spiritual energies and things, and I've been doing a lot of work with my Starfire group and so
Yes.
forth, and bringing them up to the next level. And when I'm doing that, there's such an intense energy, in the work for me as well, that I've had to have an extensive like integration period for myself
Mhm.
because as when you're doing healing work or facilitating healing work, some you're receiving often
Sure,
as
Yeah.
well
sure.
something
Yes.
Yeah. It's like,
There's a lot of
um
energy. Sometimes we get off these calls and we're like, wow, that's a lot of energy for the day.
yeah.
I'm tired. I'm gonna go lay down.
mhm.
Yeah, it's a lot of
but
integration.
but I have noticed in talking with my students and some clients as well, there's an interesting phenomenon happening, at least for my clients, that I'm going to share, in that they are they may have been doing, following their path and doing something in alignment with their gifts.
Hmm.
But there's so much out there now that I've discovered that people are feeling like, that she's doing that over there. Maybe I'm really not so good at what it is that I'm doing. Maybe there's
Mm.
something more that I need. And it's a really strange phenomena. And I was saying in the past when there were shaman, right, in their village, they were very honored. They generally followed, they had their own gifts. So whatever it was that they offered to the community was aligned with their gifts. It wasn't like you learn shamanic practices and so forth now, in that it's like you're going to do soul retrieval this way, you're going to do it like whatever it is, right? There's like a certain way to do things. Whereas in the past, with our ancestors, it was utilizing their gifts
I
that
see
came
where you're
up
going.
in the way that they might do the same things, but you don't necessarily do it the way somebody taught you because that's not your way. You are
Yes.
not them. So you have
Yes.
to honor your gifts and your own divine power that's coming forward, and you do it in the way that you do it. And that's one of the things a lot of people don't realize. They go through a certification or something and everybody's doing the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're
We
finding that
talked
they're
about this
either,
last time, and I remember this conversation when you were talking about Reiki and how it was very certified, and lots of people were doing it this way and this way and this way, and only can do it this way. And I think we all kind of felt like it didn't always. We have our own gifts in our own way, and there's so many people in this world to be able to receive it differently, which is why we all have these very different gifts. So
well, that's
sorry.
evolution. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Elohim was told, it was like a couple of years ago, and they were like, you have to realize that there's an evolutionary process happening in every aspect of our
Yes.
lives and this world.
Yeah.
So nothing is as it was. And if it is as it was, you're no longer being as effective, and you're kind of stuck
Uh,
because you're not allowing yourself to evolve. But when we're talking about evolutionary process within what it is that you are doing, it's truly, it's based upon your gifts. No one else in the world, and I'm always telling my students this, no one else in the world can do what it is that you do in the way that you do it. And that is what sets you apart and allows you to rise within your chosen field, whatever it is you're doing. It doesn't have to be healing work or anything. But a lot of people now, they're not feeling as, I don't know, the word's not coming to me. They're not feeling that they're ever ready because they're looking at what other people are doing. That's a
Yeah.
distraction as well, because you're focusing on what others are doing, but you're not like taking that information and creating something and being something of your own, being yourself in whatever that is. So I'm getting a lot of people that are just feeling kind of diminished and not, they're unsuccessful.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, you're not being you, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking out into the world at what everyone else is doing, and then you start feeling like, I can't do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not being that successful. So therefore, I must be missing something. So I have more work to do
Mhm.
before I can go out and
hmm.
help people
Well,
or
they do
accomplish
have
things.
more work to do because they've just stated their limiting block right in front of you, where they've already
Mm-hmm.
self-proclaimed that they're unsuccessful.
Mm-hmm.
True or not true, right? And I think that that is a common thing for this reality for sure, that they
Well,
haven't been
they
empowered
don't have
to
more they
choose.
don't have more work to do in the fact that they can go out and share their gifts is what she's trying to say.
Sure,
Like
I
they're
get that
ready for
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're ready for that. But what you're saying is that there's a belief system
System.
that is
Clogging up the
yeah.
flow too. Like it's more than just, one thing. Like they probably have, there's probably hundreds of people on the calls that have had, greater gifts than I or Leonka have, or maybe you have. I probably not you though.
She's pretty
And but
remarkable,
they
y'all.
but they have this, limiting blocker that's like, I'm not good enough. And they won't ever like look behind the door to see, wait, maybe it says good enough on the other side of the door.
Well, and that's what a lot of our society is doing now,
Yes.
though. It's like just pulling people's attention away and making
Mm.
people feel like they're
They're
not good
not good
enough.
enough
You're
on
missing
purpose so
something.
that they manipulate you and you have to buy the next drug or have to buy the next system. Yeah, no,
Yes.
I think that that is an epidemic. I love that you're pointing this out.
Yeah, I see that a lot. And just in what
Hmm.
people say, there's a lot of people out there too. In case an example, because Archangel Michael's here, it's like, tell the story about that.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
no, I think
Maybe I don't want to tell the story. No. So,
just give me a
uh,
minute.
like, years
I
ago when
love
I was
Archangel Michael. Yeah.
He is kind of a loud mouth like that.
he is. Um, Years ago when I was just first beginning a practice, I was doing really well with I was doing Reiki and I was doing Akashic record reading. I had done those courses and I was doing that. I wasn't doing Reiki in the way that I was taught. I call it Reiki anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember meeting this gentleman in a class that I gave, and he had been he said, oh, I can't even remember what I mentioned at the time. And he's like, oh, I can help you with that, I can heal that. And I didn't ask for that, but part of me, all of a sudden I open my mouth and I always think, okay, this is a lesson because the angels are just like opening my mouth and I say yes, and I'm like, wait a second, I don't even know what I'm saying yes to. And so he met me, and at that time I was working with the angels too. And things.
Yeah.
And uh, he met me in my little office space. He came in to kind of show me what he could do, how he was going to heal me or whatever. I didn't realize, like, at the beginning, he's well, at the beginning, he asked me what it was that I was doing. What type of healing work are you doing? So I'm telling him about doing Reiki and doing Akashic records, and I work with angels and all of it. He interrupted me and he said, oh, you're just a baby.
My nose all crinkles. I'm like, what?
I can't tell you how that affected me. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
But at that point, the angels were like, "Foop, foop, 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 foop."
I hate that word too.
Like steel wall. It was funny. So, and they're telling me that is not true. But part of me from my childhood and everything, I'm like, maybe it is true. I suffered for a while. But so he said, well, I'm going to help you and I'm going to do this healing work. And he's doing all of this stuff. And he said, first of all, you can't be friendly with the angels. You have to command the angels. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to command an angel or anything, right? So he's working with me, and he got so frustrated and irritated. And he said, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what you're doing, but I can't connect with you. And I'm
Wow.
thinking,
He got mad.
He got really angry.
Good repulsive.
And he said, well, I'll call you later today and we'll schedule another appointment and I'll come in and try again. I was like, no.
Yeah, because it didn't resonate. It wasn't resonating. I can feel that right now, right?
No, it didn't resonate, but also when they do that, when they block it, it was dangerous for me personally at any rate. But it was a lesson, because it was a lesson in understanding my own worth, right? And that moment, and you're always going to meet people like that. There's always going to be someone outside of yourself saying something that is not in alignment with who it is that you are and what it is that you're doing. And so when we go inner, it's really about understanding our own self-worth, loving ourselves, and seeking internal validation, validating ourselves by our own experiences, how we're experiencing it, how we see our clients reacting, how we're helping our clients. So many people get stuck because they're seeking external validation that may never come, or may never come in the form that they're desiring, to keep them moving forward. And so it's really about moving into that inner space.
Yeah. I think that I keep hearing this over and over and over again. And I'm wondering when my body is going to just say, stop looking at the external, stop looking at the material, stop, getting fearful because of the material too, is one of the other things that my nervous system gets amped up about, right? Time and money and, it's so interesting that, like, nothing can really be even happening, but my nervous system will get amped up from one single thought. Yeah. Oh, maybe the economy does suck. I'm like, really?
What's that got to do with you, right?
And what's the value of it?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, that's where the noise is. So maybe the next question is, what would be the practices? What would be your methods to create this shift? We're giving awareness clearly, and awareness is one of those first steps. What would you say around
Well,
your
awareness
methods?
is a
Mm-hmm.
key step. And
Mm-hmm.
just and really discernment aligned with how it is that you feel,
Mm-hmm.
right? How does
Yes.
that someone said something, you saw something, what have you, how does that make you feel?
Right.
Or you see someone else doing something that you would like to do, you want to get there, but it feels so far away. Like, how does that make you feel? Because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
our inner guidance through the heart, our intuition, will
Mm-hmm.
give us the answers that we need when we ask. So often the reason that that seems so far away, the main reason is because it's not in alignment with who
Mm-hmm.
you are and who it is that you are becoming. You are here to you're here to express self into this life experience, not somebody else. And
Mm.
so a lot of people are
Wow,
trying
that's
to
profound.
It is.
express other people through themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
then they're not happy, they feel misaligned, they're not feeling accomplished, they're not, whatever,
Yeah.
because you're doing something someone else is doing in the way that they are doing it, and it is
Mm.
misaligned with the gifts that you came into this incarnation with. And
Mm-hmm.
when we are in alignment with that, we know, because we feel excited. It's like that old adage, like, it makes your heart sing, right? It makes
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
like excited. There's some
Mm-hmm.
inner thing that makes you want to keep moving forward in that way. So I can always feel when something's not misaligned. I think when I became sovereign, in my sovereign state, I first said to, yes, you, Archangel Michael, he's like, you said you were lonely. It's like, I said, I felt lonely because it felt
Mm-hmm.
like a separation in two different realities,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
and living. And I felt like, but I don't want to be disengaged from humanity, the
Right.
reality of like the collective.
Yeah.
But it's just really learning to, it's all a part of you, but it's learning to look at it from a higher perspective and being discerning. So I can generally tell immediately if
Mm-hmm.
something's like not for me, or if someone calls me up and asks me to do something, I'm like, no, thank you though. And they're like, what do you mean no? You don't even know what it is. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's really about becoming, really evolving that ability to feel into things, because you are highly capable and you have everything that you need in order to have that higher level of discernment, so that your life is being guided intuitively, and you're given a map to follow, basically. I know when we are actually in flow, we're not alone. We have all that external non-physical guidance, because they're up there like, oh, there she goes, okay, we can help her on this, right? This is an alignment, right? And they'll help us. They like toss out breadcrumbs, or they put up street signs, whatever. It's
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
they give us a map forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always telling people,
Mm-hmm.
if you have door A and you have door B, and you really feel pulled to door B, but you're like, that seems really hard. Yeah, I don't think I really want to engage with that. Still, you like A is a lot easier. You don't want to go for easy if it's not in alignment, and
Mm.
something that appears to be more difficult is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you choose door B, then it's like, oh, the world universe opens
Yes.
up, and you
Yes.
have the pathway is illuminated forward. But you
Yes.
really just have to trust that, and you'll be given all the tools and the resources you need to keep moving forward. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can, and you can move forward with difficult tasks with ease. Sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right? But if you have all the tools and resources that you need, it may be a little more difficult, but it's still easeful to move through. it, right? We're not here to have everything be easy. I mean, we're here to go through things. We're here to experience things along this path, and we're not alone. And that's one of the reasons that Archangel Michael wanted me to share that.
Yeah.
But I felt,
Yeah.
and sometimes I do feel alone. I'm starting to build like a community, but part of the thing in just really following this path was it's like you have to be willing to let go of the distractions. And a lot of times, distractions are formed from things that you've been connected with that are no longer in alignment. So, thusly, they are now a distraction. So, I had communities and groups, I worked with, and all of this. But the ones I knew right away, I'm like, oh, I cried a lot during that time. I was like, okay, I'm leaving. I kept just
Yeah.
leaving groups and say, I've got my own path to follow. And a large community, it took me a while to leave because I was a facilitator and doing all this stuff
Oh,
for them.
yes.
Uh, and they're like, you need to leave because you need to focus here. You need to leave.
Your guides were saying that.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, oh
Yes.
yeah. Uh, but I was like, it's just a little longer because I'm
No.
feeling fulfilled and doing this. Well, what happens is the universe, God, your whatever, makes you leave
Oh, yeah.
or you get kicked out. Yeah.
That's my job.
And and that's a lot more rough than if you just said
Yeah.
sayonara.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Now my old
So
tricks aren't
my
working
life just
anymore.
my life just got harder and harder and harder. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I
Mm-hmm.
have to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I finally left, and that was the last group, wow. I mean, exponential, everything just came in. All these opportunities began to flow because by sticking with something that was misaligned, and I knew it was misaligned, and I
Mm.
Mm.
knew I was using all that I am to empower somebody else's path and not my own. I
Yeah.
was still sticking with it for the friendships, for the community, for the fulfillment of, doing the work. And you can get caught in that and
Mm-hmm.
not really realizing that I'm actually not, me personally, I'm not actually receiving anything from this,
Mm.
right? I'm not, there's nothing that's really helping me to expand and to grow.
Mm.
Right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
once
Absolutely.
I left, though, my life just opened up. Everything just started to open up. And they kept telling me, if you leave, this will happen, this will occur. So it was
Yeah.
truth.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of faith. It's a
Mhm.
lot of faith. And I remember doing the same, hearing the same, and yet I still tried to one foot in, one foot out with my career because I had, Tiffany says, I got caught in the external validation. And
Yeah.
I too had that. I mean, there was a lot of accolades that came with my career, and it got harder and harder to do my career and to be fulfilled. That was the hardest part. It was feeling like I wanted to throw up every time I was even stepping into the door now. Like it was a lot. And yeah, your guides will let you know when
Yeah.
it's time to leave and or they'll shake it up
Well,
real
that's when
good.
you get those little nudges and then you get hit with the Mack
Yeah,
truck. And
yep,
yeah.
yeah, pretty
That's,
much. I didn't really want to get hit with the Mack truck, but
I know I
it
didn't
yeah.
either, but I kind of did.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
can't tell you how many Mack trucks I've been hit with in my life.
Well, you were more resistant than I was then. Congratulations. You
Oh,
win.
I'm hard headed.
you said
It
that
really am.
last time.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I am, and they laugh. They know, so they always know that if they're asking me to do something, they have to prove it first.
She comes from
that's
the
I get that too. I was like, she was saying your higher self, it would have to put these two significant beings there for you to pay even attention because I'm so hard-headed.
it's funny.
I'm not
I
as bad. Yeah, I'm not as
I
bad anymore.
And
I'm less bad too.
yeah, and it's like, well, I come from the prove it state or
The
something.
show me
Show me
state.
state, right? Show me
The
how it works.
Midwest, Missouri, show me state.
That's
I
funny.
do want to give the opportunity for people to experience your work, and time is flying by.
Yeah, this is a good
It,
conversation
it
though.
really is, and I think that having faith is so important. It's like it's scary though. I mean, I'm
Mm.
still working on my faith.
Yeah.
Having walked away from, a regular job, a regular, benefits, right? Salary, accolades
Yep.
to do, to do my
Yes.
heart's right. And I love this so much. I do. I cannot imagine doing anything different now. And it has been divinely guided. But is it scary? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, that's the thing that Elohim's always telling me. It has always told me that you must maintain your faith, but you must, for most of all, maintain your trust. And
Hmm.
the angels have been around me for so long, and they've never lied. They did once, but it wasn't a lie in that sense. I took it as a lie. I still say it's a lie, but it wasn't really.
They're laughing right now. They're laughing, I know. Oh, that's
Because
awesome.
they, in order to get me to do something I needed to do, like immediately,
Hmm.
and I was
Hmm.
like, you lied to me. But anyway, and they're like, well, it wasn't really a lie. Yeah, we beg to differ. Um,
They had
but
their own
I,
agenda.
yeah, but since they've always been with me, and I've never really everything's come true that they said. I've been working with them. I have just maintained the faith and the trust, even if I feel it. Like if I'm, because I understand the feeling. I understand the feeling of fear. I know the ego is like, no, you really shouldn't do that because remember what happened way back when in 1986 or,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something. And I'm like, yeah, but this is 2025. So,
Right. It's a
Yeah.
new day.
so it's
Right.
about training our ego. But, I've had to do that. It's like do it in fear. I've had to do a lot of things in fear because I had so much, so much faith and trust
Hmm.
Mhm.
that I knew that I'd be okay. It was going to turn out exactly the way it's supposed to, and it always has. Even though I had fear stepping into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the question is, if we could change that internal state of fear when we're approaching those uncomfortable zones to support our bodies better, wonder what the angels say about that, right? Like these natural, innate human frequencies that come up, how can we transmit that a little bit easier instead of feeling the fear and doing it anyway?
You're just talking about the question is about how do we
Well, I
easefully
don't know that we
bypass that
can,
fear?
I don't know if there's a transmission or a bypass of it or, a level where we grow more stoic or resilient into becoming more of a,
Yeah, a lot of
frequency
our,
that
yeah,
can,
Truly
the major,
trust.
yeah, truly trust, like totally fall into the universe has my back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
the majority of our fears come from ancient times, from our ancestors and so forth. We carry that in
Yeah.
our DNA and our genetics. And so when our ego is more in alignment with like when back in Neanderthal days when we were being chased, we had to be being chased by a saber-toothed tiger or something,
Yeah.
and having to be fearful and having to be up in that fight or flight, like ready to run if
Mhm.
something was to come attack us. We still hold that in our limbic brain. We still
Yes.
have that fear. So a lot of it is simply just that. So when I'm fearful of something, I'll stop and go, wait a second. This isn't something to be fearful of. So
Hmm.
what is that
Mhm.
I'm like dealing with? And then
Uh-huh.
I realize there's nothing to fear. That's
Mhm.
just coming up from the past. And if it's coming up from the past, it doesn't belong in the present moment. This is a different
Mm.
time. This is a different
Hmm.
moment. So I just tell myself there's absolutely nothing to fear. That was in the past. There's nothing here to fear in the present, so I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, unless I'm, jumping off the building without a parachute. I'm not going to do
Yeah.
something stupid. But you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, no. But there's times when the limbic brain, like, don't walk in that dark alley because it's 2 in the morning, and they're like, you wouldn't do something like that. So it's
Yeah.
not like we need
Yeah.
our ego. We could not live without our ego. But we
Mhm.
can train our ego for 2025 versus back in Neanderthal days.
Hmm.
Right? And so it's really
Hmm.
about training and allowing our ego to understand that that was then and this is now.
Uh-huh.
And so if you do something and you don't die, then your ego sits back and goes, oh, check, okay, guess you can do that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
So
right?
it's kind of like you have to keep training
Yeah.
yourself to
Mhm.
understand that there's nothing to fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we
Yeah.
don't keep going out of that comfort zone or even to the cliff and start feeling that, we will never be able to really train it.
Yeah. It
Right. You'll
wasn't
just
until
stay
I
where
was
you are.
okay with I did the exercise. Well, will you die? Well, what happens then? Well, will
Uh-huh.
you
I
die?
see here.
And every single time I heard I got a no, 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 no. Well, then it was like, okay, so what? What then? And
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, I guess I'm not gonna die. I'm all in. Let's go. Right. So it
Yeah.
wasn't until I really did that exercise with myself that
Wow.
I was able to finally, and Jeneth has heard me talk about this a lot, be like, I'm free of it.
Yeah.
It is where it is, and I'm just gonna be there. Like, I
Yep.
mean, I am full trust, right? But
I love that.
I harbored so much of that before I even did that. And it was a very simple exercise of, I went through each little scenario. Well, what happens if I don't do this? So what happens if I do this? And it was like, well, are you going to die? No. Are you going to die? No. Am I, and I'd be like, well, I'll be judged. Are you going to die? No. And did any of those things happen? No. But
Love
in
that
my
exercise.
head thought so, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that as well. And that's something that I tell myself sometimes when I feel fear coming up. I'm kind of like, is this
What
going
are
to
we?
kill me?
Yeah.
Am I going to
Yeah.
die?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
answer is always no.
The worry
No, the
noises.
word, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can let it go for the
Yes.
Yeah.
most part. Sometimes it can be just an underlying current,
Yeah.
but that goes away when you actually do something and you don't die.
All
Ain't
right.
dead yet.
Well, we keep hitting the
Um,
comfort zone pushes.
do you want to take a question and then
Yeah.
we'll go into
Yeah, Dana has her hand raised. Dana, you're up.
Hello, Phyllis.
Hey, Dana.
I have a very curious question. I learned not long ago that my oversoul is Arcturian and Seraphim, and I'm curious. I also learned that I'm very connected and with the violet flame, and I'm trying to. And I'm just wondering if you can share what my connection with that might be in this lifetime, as I have not been able to have that revealed to myself.
You won't like me. No, no, no. Okay, what I had to what the angel had taught me was when people tell me those things, it's partially true. Yeah. When people tell me those things, and then I get excited about, well, what does that mean? What should I do? And I talk about the angels are like soap. So you are who you are. You are who you are meant to be. We all have different aspects that are a component to us because that is in alignment with who it is that we are, why it is we came into this life, our purpose, our mission, what is it we came here to do, and we also know how we're supposed to do it, right? We know all that. So all of the aspects that might be attached to us, so to speak, be part of us, are there for a very specific reason because they are in alignment with who it is that you are. It's in alignment with your true and divine path. Does that part make sense? So
Yes.
none of it matters. Because when we start to focus on what does that mean? What does that part serve? It actually serves as a distraction from the accumulative aspect of who it is that you are in this human form. You are not separate parts. You are unified in all your aspects are unified in who it is that you are. So then you look in the mirror and say, I am all that here now in this physical form. What is this united or unified being here to do? So those are just energetic frequencies that are part of you, that are woven into your spiritual architecture.
Right. But I feel like, I'm supposed to be doing something with the violet flame.
Maybe, or it could be just a part of you. Do you know that
Okay.
you're supposed to be
I
doing
know that I'm a
something?
natural. I know that I'm a natural transmuter. It's the first thing that I learned, that I just transmute automatically,
And you,
animals and
yeah,
people.
but you don't.
And
Do you use the violet flame to do that?
um, I use it on myself, the violet flame, but it feels like there's a bigger something to it that
There
just
is.
hasn't been
You don't
revealed.
need. Okay, so the ability to transmute is one of your gifts, and you do not need the violet flame in order to do that. It is just something you can
It's
do.
innate, right?
It's an innate skill or gift, right? Well, in this part, it's an innate skill. It's also a gift,
Right.
but it's something that you can do. So when it's hard to say, you should do what it is that what you know that you are supposed to do on your own because you actually have the ability to do it. So you don't need the violent flame, you don't need any other methodologies, but it's more of a creation of how is Dana going to do this? How does Dana do this? And then Dana just does, right? When we can stop thinking about the methods and so forth and just basically commune with the light and connect with that, then everything that Dana knows how to do comes through as a knowing.
Right. That makes sense.
That's a
Yeah. So just
power
be.
for you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hear these things and then they don't, or just feel they can't disconnect from that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not something like I'm grasping for. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
integrate it more into
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Yeah. And when I've heard things like that, I would just kind of read about it. I would get to know, not that you don't know, but if say it was a violet flame, I would get to know, okay, why did that come up? There must be some connection to it. So I might study it a little bit, like what is it and all of that. And then I put it aside because a lot of that is just simply knowledge that it's bringing forth a remembrance, and it's also beginning to reveal something within you. So
Right.
then if you are supposed to be utilizing the violet flame, when you start doing the transmuting work, the violet flame will come forward. I know
Yeah.
that sounds
Okay.
simplistic, but does that
No,
make sense? It's more
it
about
does.
trusting yourself.
Right, because that's how it works. It's actually, like I said, it's the first thing that I noticed about myself, and it is just happens naturally. And so but I just thought that there might have been a deeper something for me to integrate with. But I
No,
mean,
because as you do it, as you connect with it, you are integrating what is there frequency wise for you to integrate. You don't need to go outside of that.
right. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, that was kind of an
Very neat.
interesting opening. Thank you.
Phyllis, we want to give the opportunity for you to display your work. I feel like that's the way in which people resonate, very much with your work. And we can go a little bit over for you to be able to do that today if you've got the time.
Okay, yeah, I can let me.
Resonate.
Oh, it isn't meant like that.
Isn't it interesting how you even asked the question?
Like, let me know if you can hear this here.
Yes.
Just to make sure.
Yes, we can hear it.
All right, so I would ask everyone to just kind of relax back and close your eyes and just be open to receive whatever is there for you to receive today. And just taking some deep breaths in and out through the nose. And on each exhale, just letting go of any expectations, any thoughts, letting go of anything that you are going to be doing after this, right? Just really bring yourself into this moment fully. trespin o cendreria mi songoro nunderi chandri ne sondore no cinderen tinge no chondo sindre miriam hannere kenor Mangure minje sirenor, mangure nimden chondre kiram mantrande, nere chur me no mir. Chandre tira mama katu tondre shirene nam amana katondre spirina kamama katore cendere ingere cede kaparora cinegatere papakora pacendere canduria nemena pagara makotondre annera kamana makondo cendere annera mama kanoto tondre stira Mama candere scendere coro a mangiare che nire ma giungere che scendere che morore amma quando risplendere che tira amore in cor Dira che cuscundur, pica iscuja Maria tatata tikendira, iscundura, macarge, ijande, isbucutundre, istipra tunna. Bakera pakotutura. The Pleiadians want to come in for a moment.
I have to count them down now to hypnosis again. 1, 2, 3, awaken alert. Wow, this is the first time I've had you on, and I was just called to open my eyes. And it just made me see all the can codes that were going through as you were speaking the light language. Do you want to talk a little more about that? Like the whole full expression of it? Is there anything to say there for you?
Well, it's just not that it's not just a sound like I become the light language.
Okay.
And
Love
so
that.
I become the light language, so it's like flowing through. You get like the energy, but when I can see the light language as it comes through too. So I can see there's encoding and so forth. So there's also like an architecture that's in front of me that has sacred geometric forms and so forth. And I can see that the light language is flowing in, and it's like more of a unity form for everyone on the call and people that will be listening afterwards. It's a unifying architecture. So that when people come back to listen, then they're receiving exactly what came forth for those that are present now. So yeah, there's encoding, there's images, imagery, and so forth that comes through. Yeah, that's really about.
Tiffany said, wow, instant tears, so much release. Thank you.
That's what I mean. That was kind of,
Yeah.
I felt also that it was opening my voice.
Yeah.
Like her changing my voice or something.
Mine, so we've been having something going on this side of my throat, I guess. And I just felt like my hand just came up and started to press on it. The like almost like press and release, kind of like you give yourself a massage or whatnot. But it was just like it was really strange, and it was I mean, it felt like a releasing as well. And Dana says, wow, so many amazing, so felt so deeply. My light language came up in my heart and crown are expanded in some clearing. Thank you. My wings are sheathed. Sheathed. That's wow. That's pretty. I mean, clearly there's a lot of clearing that goes on, but it feels like it's a freeing, expansive energy for me, at least. As well.
It's interesting because at this time I've noticed that my octaves my voice can go has broadened, so I can go really deep, right? Like, and I don't talk in that range.
Yeah.
But I noticed when I'm singing, doing a transmission, I hit a note the other day. I'm like, wow, that was like a bass note. I don't even know how that came out, but I noticed there's more voices. That are happening. But it was interesting. The Pleiadians came in.
Yeah, well, the Pleiadians, Arcturians are all around me, which would make me think that they're all around everyone else in the call too.
Yeah, I play with the Pleiadians.
Yeah,
well, like introduce us. Okay, the Pleiadians are coming.
Yeah, the Pleiadians.
The angels are like, let's talk to the Pleiadians today. I kind of get that the angels are, they do talk to the Pleiadians though too. That it's just, they're just different, beings or essences. That's at least how I see it.
Katie said, I felt like I was floating and kept wanting to open my eyes too. I did. I opened my eyes as well. And I kept telling myself, no, my monkey brain. I also fought back my monkey brain a little bit too. And once I finally relaxed, I was able to receive. And I was like, Lee, just receive. Just understand. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. I felt like it was a bigger contribution almost when I opened my eyes today. Yeah. I it was like I could see the glyphs or something, right?
And for me,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the human doing the beautiful transmission. Like I wanted to see you as human still. Like I was like, I want to see the human. And it's so funny.
Wow.
And that's just because I wanted to be, I was almost in awe. I felt in awe of the beautiful transmission.
I do feel altered from that.
Oh, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
So do I.
I bet.
It's like
do
every
you
time.
hear it in melodic harmony in that way? Like you said, other voices coming in. Sometimes I hear like if it's a song coming through or something like that, I will hear the harmonies. I don't even know how to play in harmony other than to sing, but is that how you view it as well? Or receive it?
There are many beings that like come in. It's like it's like a choir of angels.
Yes.
Often I don't know, I'm gonna hit a certain note will come out and I'm like, oh, that's not the note that was in my brain, because there's different voices that come through. And so those different voices accumulatively create a different note.
That's beautiful.
I would have thought, or like almost like a chord type thing.
That's how I heard it, or that's how I received it. Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I am gonna just bring up your special offer so you can share it.
How did time go so fast?
That was so
I don't know, that
crazy.
whizzed by.
This is like, I know we started 2 minutes late, but geez.
It's flown, Phyllis.
We're just talking.
I know. And that's Archangel Michael. Thank you. I'm very grateful to you and Archangel Michael as well.
This is how
People pop in and
spacey
all
I
of
am.
that.
I felt like I had that page up and I had already
You loved
shared
it. You loved it. That's so funny. That's awesome.
Like, here we are. Okay, let's do this. All right, now it's up. Why don't Phyllis, you tell us a little bit about how to work with you?
Well, and
Go
I
ahead
think we
and
have the
just, yeah.
same special that we're doing,
Uh-huh.
right? That we're
Yes.
doing. Okay. Yeah. Well, my work isn't about healing per se, and the like, I'm going to heal you, I'm going to heal this aspect of you. So I work with I'm called the architect, the of frequency and light for a reason. And so I can see your architecture, your physical energetic architecture, and it really looks like that. It's like a grid formation that's shown to me. And within that, I just have knowledge of what the divine blueprint or divine template or soul blueprint, they call it, looks like, what it's supposed to look like. Everybody will have the same basic architecture, right? And so I can see that, and then I will go through and I'm guided to the spaces where the frequency needs to be altered in some way, shape, or form. So I alter the frequency. So I don't focus in on, my foot hurts. I've been having these headaches, but I might be drawn to the area that is distorted, right? Or is
Mm-hmm.
not
Yep.
of the right frequency
Yep.
that is the reason that you're having the headaches. So I don't focus on anything. I don't focus on stories. I just go in and I look at your energetic architecture, because that does not lie. And so it just never lies. So I go in and we shift. We just make the shifts and so forth that need to happen, and then we're complete. And so what happens is sometimes people do receive an immediate healing, but more often it is an unfolding. It's a process. Because if you've had a challenge that you've had for many years, then there's an unweaving almost, because the frequencies are in training with everything else within your system to create kind of that beautiful orchestra composition that wasn't there before.
Yes. That's amazing.
Wow. It's really about, this is kind of the work that I'm like, I keep using the word frequency, and Lianka's like, explain it. But I do feel like that is, this is kind of how I look at how all transformation needs to occur in a way, Now, I do feel like there is some facilitation because some people are unwilling to receive, or, or they can't see beyond their block. But sometimes those are very simple things that they just need to be shown. But
Well,
yeah,
one of the things, Hercules Michael still reminded me,
'cause
it used to be that you wouldn't receive a recording. And then finally I said, okay, human beings need a recording because they're not as focused in as they should be at the time that they receive it.
yeah,
So you receive everything, but there's still nuances and so forth that you don't receive because you're sitting there wondering, what is she doing? You're open, you're whatever you're doing. Right?
Yes.
And so now they allow you to listen to it 3 additional times.
You said that.
For integration and assimilation. Yeah. Not that you can't listen to it after that, but the process is essentially listening to it 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they really have the signposts that this person will be drawn to come back and revisit this. Oh, interesting.
And it's
I
the
see
reason
that
why-
in the field. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
with the QHHT.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm like,
you knew
listen
when
to your replay.
yeah, she knew when to send it to me,
I
and
knew
then
not to send it too soon.
shortly after my resistance around that, I felt called to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have you do it the following 3 days.
Oh,
See?
So
really?
you listen to it 4 days in a row.
Wow.
But it's just helping you to integrate and assimilate
Oh,
what was received. Yeah.
Interesting. I can see that. And I can also see that somebody that would take a 3 to 4 day immersion in this would really accept, receive, and surrender it, surrender to that information instead of having their walls and their fight up so much.
It's very much, or you can let me know if it's not, but very much like if you are, let's say you're on your spiritual journey, you're learning, you're integrating, you take some of the information, and then you come back and you reread some of the same exact thing that you read from before, and it lands completely, not completely different, but you've received something new. You're like, oh my gosh, I did not see that before. And it is because you've already integrated some pieces of it, and you're not unfocused, right? Sometimes we're just doing a lot of other things that we're just not able to fully receive at that time. Like you said, the reason why that humans needed their recording. I think that's fascinating. And it just goes to show you it's in various different, yes, it's incredible. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna stay up right there.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Like and the more conversations we have, the more I see things and these openings in such a different way. It's
Oh, me too.
incredible. Wow.
It says, Dana says, thank you, Phyllis, sending love and gratitude. This is so amazing. This is so cool. Thank you, Phyllis. It was beautiful. I was lifted up and floating all around. Amazing session today. Thank you, ladies. I mean, what a beautiful way to end the day, as somebody else said too, and I can't agree more. Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Phyllis, any parting words for us today?
We want you to know how much you are loved, how powerful you are, and that you are here to be who it is that you are meant to be. The only thing that you are required to do in this lifetime is to create the life that you desire.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
It's kind of like being with a celebrity when you come on.
I know. I love it so much.
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Own that.
The star power.
I love it so much.
Even wore your stars and your moons on your
There we go.
And I was going to put
Phyllis.
the sweater on.
That's right. Well,
I'm going to go galactic. I'm going to put stars and moons all over me.
That's why the Pleiadians must have shown up.
Anyway, that's right. Thank you, Phyllis. Have a good one.
You're
We'll
welcome.
let you go.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You guys, all the links are at houthustle.com/live, LIVE. And Leonka can sing you the Hout Hustle jingle.
At HAUTEHUSTLE.
We should really make a jingle around it.
Yeah. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. HUSTLE. Oh, we'd like to have fun here. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone and you all for being here. It's because of you that we have such a great time. So thank y'all.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Leonka's taking the day off.
I'm taking my grandmother to go to a funeral for her brother. And my grandmother is who raised me. So it's like my mother is losing her brother. And it's harder to see that generation pass because I know my grandma's going to pass at some point.
Yeah.
But doing this work helps me to understand how it all works. And now I feel like I know that she'll always be with me no matter what. So yeah. But she ain't gone yet because she kept me up last night.
So we'll of course have you in our energy.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe your energy being there will fully support them too.
Yeah, I'm with y'all here as well. So thank y'all.
Yeah, we've got an all-star show going on tomorrow, though, with all the OGs.
Yeah.
So, except for Dr. Yaffe, who is our third show, and she talks about Hathor.
It's going to be very interesting. I read her book, and some of it sounded very similar to channeled sessions that I've had in QHHT. Some of the message is coming through, so it's very fascinating. I'm very excited for y'all to have that. I wish I could be here for
it's going to be extraordinary.
Yeah, you get
I feel like I can settle back with Aaron Tobias and Suzanne Alexandria and all the and she sounds absolutely phenomenal.
She does.
So I'll have to do a little homework on her before we get on the
That's
show.
right. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow, and take a little time to enjoy the woo.
The woo.